Just to set the context, already people have spoken about the vocational from the government perspective, from the from DRF's angle, from the social development perspective, and the credit duly belongs to DRF because they are the Dr. Reddy's Foundation is the pioneer in the realm of providing short-term vocational courses that everyone is doing today. So the model is primarily almost everywhere it's the same model with a little bit of innovation going on everywhere else. So let me begin with a slight introduction of Career Launcher. It's a first generation entrepreneurship company founded in 1995 and spearheaded by IIT alumni. The core objective is to make education accessible to all and enable individuals to realize their potential while making fulfill and making their career dreams come true. Today, Career Launcher is among the leading education corporates in South Asia. The turnover is around 150 crores. We are presently based in 200 locations, 200 plus locations across India, and with international presence in US, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and UK. Now, the broad portfolio that Career Launcher has in terms of its business, it's mostly known for the test prep, which continues to be the bread and butter business for Career Launcher. It's a market leader there, servicing 80,000 candidates. Then Career Launcher has also ventured into the mainstream education with presently we have 20 K-12 schools, a business school in Greater Noida, focused on entrepreneurship. We have plans to set up a private university by 2011. Now coming to the skills and employability sector, Career Launcher is relatively new to this. It's only about a couple of years that Career Launcher has ventured into the vocational skills business. But already we are close to 20% of our revenues coming in through vocational skills. Unlike the test prep business, which is a paid retail model business, our vocational is so far mainly driven by the government projects. So the clients include Ministry of Labour and Employment and Ministry of Rural Development, some state governments like Rajasthan, Gujarat, and some of the private companies. We also have CL Media, which basically brings out two publications, Management Compass and Skills Ahead. Talking about the Indian education structure, how does the Indian education structure currently looks like? The mainstream education, it stands out in India, the normal K-12 school and then the higher education. And there is also the supplemental education, which is basically in terms of tuition, test prep, etc. These are quite visible. These are there in the space for everyone to see. But the vocational education and training somehow has fallen below the radar. It is not that visible. It does not come up directly that much. It is still to grow. This is what the current Indian education structure looks like. The reason why all of us are here, and people before me have already mentioned about the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal that is set, is of skilling 500 million people in India by 2022. That is when India becomes 75 years old. That's the reason we are here. And of course, the demographic dividend and the possibility of India filling the gap of required skilled manpower in the future. Now, as I said, the vocational scenario is still emerging in India. So from being a new company, from looking at it, from a 30,000 feet clarity, how the things are emerging as far as vocational space goes in India. All the initiatives that are going to be in vocational space will have primarily these three characteristics. Number one, it is going to be inclusive in nature. When I say inclusive, it will talk about inclusion of the marginalized sections, whether it is the SC, ST, women, disabled, or rural, all those so-called traditionally marginalized sections would have to be included. It would primarily be done in a PPP or a public-private partnership mode, wherein the government and the private sector has its stake involved. And it would primarily be outcomes-based. Outcomes-based in sense, it's employability as a benefit can only be secured with employment as a guarantee. Nobody is willing to pay for employability. People are willing to pay for employment. If you go and ask someone to pay for training, neither the industry nor the individual is willing to pay for the training. You go and offer job, people are willing to pay for the job. People are willing to pay 10,000 rupees for a 5,000 rupee job, but they will not pay 5,000 rupee, which can get them a 10,000 rupee job. Our initiatives in the vocational space, some of the projects that we are doing, these have some common characteristics, all the projects that Career Launcher has so far undertaken in the vocational space. These are mainly focused on the bottom of the pyramid population. Employability and finally employment are the main outcomes that these projects are focused at. They all have an inclusive agenda, which I talked about a little earlier. It's basically about a quick turnaround, 2-3 months, short duration courses, making people employable and getting them entry-level jobs. It's a win-win situation. For a company, it's a win-win situation because you have a quick turnaround. For the person gets job quickly, so it's a win-win situation for both. And overall development. It's not only about the technical skills. It's also about the personality development, the exposure, some IT skills that all it includes. An idea of where all we are present in terms of our vocational interventions in India. This is how a typical Career Launcher Skills Center would look like. Would have all these facilities. As I said earlier, this would not be very different from what a DRF center would look like. Probably if you visit from inside and don't see the signboard from outside, you won't be able to recognize whether it's a DRF or a Career Launcher or a Aided Action or similar all other centers that are currently there today. This is this slide is about a Career Launcher Skill School Center in Rai Bareli in Uttar Pradesh. This is how a center looks like. Various training programs going on here. Some more photographs. This is from Rajasthan Mission on Livelihood Center. This is in Ganganagar, these photographs. Now coming to test prep versus vocational. Career Launcher has been reasonably successful in the test prep space, and we are now ventured into vocational. But how test prep stacks up against the vocational space? Test prep as of today is mainly demand driven. Students come, they know the value, and they pay the fee, do the course. Whereas vocational is still more of a government pushed supply. Government is pushing the agenda rather than it being demand driven as of now, at least. Again, test prep is more media friendly. It's like advertising, marketing, holding seminars at various places, walk-ins happening in the center, and that's how you acquire candidates or students in test prep business. Wherein in vocational, it is more of community mobilization drives, going to the villages, going to the meetings of panchayats and talking to the people, telling them about the program, word of mouth. That's how the vocational space carries on. Test prep is a mature market, whereas vocational is still in a very nascent stage. It's evolving. There are standards in the test prep market. You have a set CAT paper or a GMAT paper or regional management aptitude tests that are there. Whereas in vocational space, the standards are still being evolved. There are no fixed industry or government-led standards. MES was a very good try in this regard, but it needs to be taken further and to some logical conclusion for that. Test prep has been a scalable and replicable model because the standards exist. You know what kind of faculty you need. You know what kind of skills you need to pass on. Whereas vocational is more contextual. It will depend on the individual area that you are talking about. For example, a course in sales and marketing in Hyderabad could be very different from a sales and marketing course that one would have to do in a place like Amethi or in a place like Jaunpur or Mau in UP. So it's very contextual in that sense. Test prep is democratic. Anyone who is willing to pay the fee can come and join the course. Whereas vocational is democratic as well as demographic. This again more or less talks about the inclusive agenda. You have to see that there is certain percentage of women coming in. You have to see there is a certain percentage of minorities being benefited by this. These are primarily, how test prep and vocational stack up against each other. Some of the operational challenges that we have seen that are faced in the vocational space. Sourcing or acquisition of candidates. It's a problem. This is primarily because return on education in this particular space in the BOP population is perceived to be less. That becomes a problem when we talk about sourcing of candidates. Trainers, there are no standards. You don't know where to look for trainers. In a country where you don't have, trainers are lacking everywhere. Even in formal education system, which has been there for such a long period, people struggle with school teachers, with higher education teachers. In vocational space, this problem is even more to source the trainers. So one has to necessarily depend on people who have, some basic qualification in that particular area and who have had some industry experience. And then you have to try and groom them. There are no on-the-shelf available trainers available in this space. Curriculum and content, as I said earlier, MES was a decent try as far as curriculum and content goes. It also specifies more or less the curriculum. But the content, methodology, all these are not standardized. You don't get these content and training methodology available. One has to evolve it on its own. There's no fixed body to do it. Retention. Retention in the classroom, retention after the placements. Majority of the population is coming from rural areas, but majority of the jobs are not available in the rural areas. So one has to necessarily, move them out of those rural areas, and that's when the retention becomes a problem. Even if there is a job, even if you get them a job, to retain them in that job becomes a problem. Certification and assessment, there are no. The scenario is still not evolved. There are no fixed qualifications framework. There's no fixed assessment bodies. MES had some, but it faced a major problem as far as assessments and certification went, to the extent that the scheme was brought to a stall for some time at least. Now they're trying to revive it, but a very good scheme could not be, carried on because of certain of these issues. And finally, the placements. Everyone in this industry, we keep hearing about people required in all the sectors, in all the industries, but to link them up with the vocational training providers, that's an issue. That's one of the operational challenges. In the end, I would just leave you with this thought. The vocational scenario in India currently is more like a jigsaw puzzle. There are several players, there are several issues. It's very much in the shades of gray. Nothing as of now, or very little, is in black or white. So everyone is trying to come to terms with this jigsaw puzzle, and one would have to wait and watch for some more time and then see how the scenario emerges in this particular space. Thank you very much.